Hi, this is Mikey from Final Fantasy Tactics Live Tournament. Today, I have a video in a new series called Creator Chats, where I have a casual conversation with other YouTube creators, with topics covering their tactics channels, their experiences, and their thoughts on multiplayer games. In the premiere episode, we will be chatting with J7JASE, who has been uploading story-based content ranging from solo Ramza playthroughs, build suggestion videos, to unique encounters with rare mobs. Just a small warning, this is my first time setting up this type of interview, and there were a couple minor audio issues with a slight echo in the recording. Nevertheless, I think you will enjoy learning about Final Fantasy Tactics from the perspective of a longtime fan and helpful contributor to the community. Introducing the first in the Creator Chat series with J7JASE. Well, all right. I guess let's just get started then. If you could, please introduce yourself and talk about what it is that your channel does, what you do for your channel, what kind of content you create, and how long you have been a creator for.
Yeah, for sure. This is J7JASE. I make Final Fantasy Tactics videos and I upload them to the internet. I do throw in some Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, as well as FFTA 2, Tactics Ogre, and I'm going to throw in some Jeanne d'Arc videos from time to time. But I'm 99% Final Fantasy Tactics and like less than 1% variety in other games. I've been a content creator, at least on J7JASE, for a bit over a year now. I created that account in late January 2021. But I've had another YouTube account that I created in 2010, which I just kind of uploaded random things. And that focused mostly on Dissidia 012 Final Fantasy and Final Fantasy 7.
Do you remember, and this may be a stretch, so you feel free to, just, I don't recall as an answer. But what was your first experience like playing Final Fantasy Tactics?
Oh man, what a trip down memory lane. You gotta ask a hard question. So I don't know how old I was, but 5th or 6th grade, that age group. So yeah, that was when I was first playing Final Fantasy Tactics, and I was kind of stumped on the first real battle. I was like, I had no idea that I could deploy other characters alongside of Ramza and Lita, so I kept resetting. And then I was like, hey, I'll try and switch up tactics. And back in the day, chant was called a wish, if I'm not mistaken. So right. I ended up healing an enemy, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is insane. So in a way, I kind of did the Ramza solo challenge without even knowing it was a challenge. And
right.
Oh my gosh, that was a pain. But I did like the game. I actually loved the game. But it wasn't my favorite Final Fantasy, I guess, at the time. Mm-hmm. So that's my memory of the game and when I first played it.
That's fantastic. So it sounds like your love for the game has grown past that first frustrating experience.
I grew to appreciate the story, all the added features in War of the Lions, like the cutscenes, the voice acting, the art, and all of that. So I think overall it's a really good game. I mean, if someone like Delita is still talked about, even in May 2022 of, is he a villain or a hero and all that. Yeah, I think
we could probably make a video ourselves of just arguing the point back and forth.
100%, yes. But that's my kind of story, and I think my love for it grew like fine wine and not like milk left out in the Texas sun.
Yeah, gross. So what drove you to decide to start making content on YouTube for which is awesome, by the way, definitely check out Jace's channel. So what drove you to start making content for this game, and what has your experience been like?
That's a good question, a really good one. So I like thinking of different ideas. I like creating things. And I'm the kind of guy where, you know, I like seeing something in person or experiencing it like a hands-on versus reading. And I was like, there's no real build videos. And when I'm reading up guides on like GameFAQs or FF Wiki, I see some things about like, oh, you can get an encounter with a swine in, I think it was Dorvalder Marsh, the one near Fort Besla. And I'm like, I'm trying to look this up, like a video of it. And I'm like, I don't see any of this, or I don't see the swine battle anywhere. And I'm like, how about, you know, I actively, you know, look for it and upload videos of it so, you know, people can see it firsthand as opposed to just reading about it. And that's what sort of like drove me. And I find it really fun because, you know, I really love Final Fantasy Tactics and I just want to share it with more people, new players, veterans of the game. And, you know, it's pretty cool that, you know, even people who've played it a lot or know about the game, you know, have never seen these things. And, you know, I have video proof of it. So it was a combination of things. But most importantly, it was the love of FFT as the base of it. And that's what drives me to create videos about the game. Like, it's a fun time for me.
What has it been like creating content? You know, like, how has your reception been? And you know, what's the community been like?
So far, like 99% of the people were amazing in FFT, like the comments and all that. And initially, I didn't think that many people like would really watch it. But then, you know, when I look back at some older videos, I still remember like single-digit views, and now some of them, you know, are in the thousands or even hundreds. And I'm just like, wow, that is really cool. And I'm glad that I can show some things that people want to see or I've never seen before. Like, kind of going back to what I said about like the swine in the marsh. Yeah. Like, I'm glad people got to see like abilities by people like Zalbag with his Sword of Ruin or Destroy Sword, whichever version you're comfortable with, like the name of. Because I've never seen that myself. I've never seen him use his unique abilities in the game. Okay. So I was like, hey, I've never seen this. Maybe no one else has seen it. So I wanted to show that. And in like all the playthroughs I've seen, I've never seen him use it. So just things like that, you know. But I do like builds and kind of create them out of the box. So did you ever end up playing any kind of multiplayer? So in 2021, I know very late into the PSP's, I guess, life cycle, if you want to call it that, I did buy a second PSP. So I did end up playing with my favorite person in the world, me, myself, and I. So I was literally playing with myself.
He's a very reliable partner.
Very reliable. You know, when I wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, that's what I like.
There he is.
So I did want to experience things like the Guarded Temple, Brave Story, and Illwind, Nightmares, and all that, because I remember reading it on GameFAQs that, oh, you know, these were hard, challenging battles and you get awesome loot. So I did do a lot of those battles. And I was trying to get that 5-star rating in a Brave Story. And in regards to PvP, I've only played with myself. Like, I was trying to farm for Brave Suit, so I deployed like one Ramza on each side, and then I'd wait a turn or two, because if you finished off somebody in one turn, you just got Phoenix Downs. Yeah. So yeah, getting Brave Suit, Moonsoak Blades, Sage's Robe, all that kind of stuff was awesome, and that's my experience with PvP myself.
Moving on to the next question. And we're going to sidetrack into PvP territory because, well, this is a PvP channel. So, have you had any experience with designing your own custom squad in an editor like Lion Editor? Or do you just kind of play the organic way and mix it up?
At first, the organic way, because I'd say most of my grinding, I didn't know what Line Editor or FFT Patcher were at the time. So I did, you know, go into random battles and try to think of a team comp that was really well balanced in, any situation, whether it be fighting goblins, or in chocobos on the Mandalia Plains, or going through Midlight Steep. So I did think of, random team comps and etc. Like, Beowulf, Balthier, Orlando, and all that stuff. Yeah, I know the overpowered characters that can easily clear and cheese the game, but even though they are, I feel like they're good in practically every situation. So, I did have like a drawing board, or I did deploy and mess around with various characters, and I did come up with some staple or very good ones that I think are handy in all situations. Like I always say, like, oh yeah, items as a secondary in Orlando. Like I feel like not much can beat that. And even whether you be a beginner at the game, whether you're a beginner at the game or you're not that good at SRPGs, or if you're a veteran, I feel like being humble and always being safe and ready at all times is good throughout any playthrough, because people can get KO'd, and if someone's fast like Balthier, too fast, too furious, that speed can be a negative factor. And when that death timer counts down, it's always handy to have a Phoenix down. So I did mess around and tinker with my roster and try different things out.
But before you do go, I do want to invite you officially to a PvP match. Would you be interested in playing some Melee with Mikey from Final Fantasy Tactics Live Tournament?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to give it a shot, because I've never played with the real player other than myself. Like, I guess that counts, like, somewhat, as you said.
Sure.
So yeah, I wouldn't mind giving it a shot. I think it'll be a fun experience, and yeah, I just think it'll be fun. Even though I love the story, and I'll probably still play and do battles and uploads, I would like to experience the PvP aspect. How can I call myself, a true FFC fan if I haven't tried out that feature in, a real experience or setting? So absolutely.
Is there anything that you want to say to your viewers? And I guess folks that are watching this channel, and yeah, feel free to just, the microphone is yours.
Thank you. Well, first and foremost, I did want to thank Final Fantasy Tactics Live Tournament, aka Mikey, for creating content, making comments, and extending his hand towards this collaboration and making the interview and content on this awesome game, and the viewers for tuning in, whether it be to both of us, just me, or him. I think it's awesome, and without you guys, there would be no Final Fantasy Tactics Live Tournament or J7JASE. So I really appreciate you guys watching and so on. And I did have something coming up, which I will make a video on, or possibly a community post, which I think you'll enjoy it. So I'm not gonna say this person's name or anything, but I think she makes fantastic fan art of Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy characters, and I see stuff of them, but I'm like, hey, 7 is Final Fantasy 7. Most of the Kingdom Hearts games are good, and things like Final Fantasy 8 and 10 are good, but I'm like, hey, where's Tactics? Where's the true GOAT? And I do plan to tweet this or message this to Yasumi Matsuno as a reminder that, like, we didn't forget about your game. No. The viewers, I hope you'll be excited for it. It's not gonna be a video, it's just gonna be a piece of art, but I hope you will all enjoy it and the idea that I have.
That sounds amazing.
And thank you once again, to you, Mikey, and the viewers. I had a blast doing this interview. It was a good time.
And thank you, Jace. I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. Big thanks to J7JASE for taking the time to chat. We could probably chat for a long time, and unfortunately I had to keep it to somewhat of a format so it's digestible for you, the viewer. And speaking of which, if you like this kind of content, please throw out a like. It really helps both of us out, getting the word out to more viewers that comes from people like you throwing out likes, subscribing so that you get notified when there's more content coming out. And we appreciate you guys. So, we love seeing the likes, we love seeing the subscriptions. Keep it up. And the more we get the word out, the more chances you will run into another Final Fantasy Tactics player out in the wild who will be down to get a match with you. And you can experience multiplayer Final Fantasy Tactics yourself. So, that said, thank you for watching. We both appreciate you. And until next time, be well, everyone.